Hello and welcome to the revision programme of Module 8.
Yes, it's time to look back at the important language points that we've learned.
In Unit 1, we discussed adult learning and the possibilities of lifelong learning.
We learned how to make hypotheses using if and unless.
Don't say that. You don't know unless you try.
I'll come if you buy me a piece of cake.
Remember, to refer to imaginary situations in the present and the future, we use the past simple and would. If I had the time, I'd take another language course.
I'd feel better if I had a cup of coffee.
And for imaginary situations in the past, we use the past perfect and would have. If I'd gone to art school, I would have enjoyed it.
Just think, Natasha, if we hadn't gone for coffee, I wouldn't have known about this course.
We also heard how to offer and request information.
Can I help you?
OK. Could you tell me how much the course costs then?
Remember that we can also ask for information with questions like this.
What course are you interested in?
Did you notice the preposition goes at the end? Annabelle, how many TV shows have you been in?
Oh, quite a few.
Unit 2 was about banking, and we learned different ways to express our opinion. It seems to me that it's better to borrow money from friends than from a bank.
Yes, but I'd like to point out that lending money to friends can be risky. You still owe me £5, which you borrowed 2 months ago.
Oh, sorry, I'll give you the money later. Let's watch some other examples.
As far as I'm concerned, we'll be able to lend you the £10,000, no problem. I'm quite sure that there won't be any difficulty.
We also heard how to describe a process using the passive.
Remember, the passive is formed by to be and the past participle. Watch.
Yes. Well, according to Gary at the bank, the money will be transferred to me today.
But recently, it's been transformed into this successful financial district.
Unit 3 was about environmental issues.
And we learned how to express possibility in the past by using could have, might have, and may have, and the past participle. I could have cycled to work today instead of taking the car.
Yes, and you might have helped the environment a little.
Here are some more examples.
And you could have booked a holiday in England.
Why don't you check your email? They might have written this morning.
In the programme, we also heard people expressing regret using should have and the past participle.
He should have gone to university. He's more intelligent than he thinks he is.
Time will tell if we should have started this process earlier.
And remember, we also use should have or could have to express disapproval.
You should have cycled to work, Ashley.
Oh, I know. And you could have taken public transport. Let's move on to Unit 4.
Ah, yes, I liked this unit. It was all about shopping.
We learned how to describe objects. For example, clothes. Remember, we first say the colour, like dark blue.
Then we say the material, like suede, silk or leather.
Finally, we give further details, like party hat or second-hand skirt.
For example, a dark purple silk second-hand shirt.
Sounds lovely.
Let's watch some examples.
You've tried suede shoes, bright purple high heels and dark red platforms. How much was your dress, by the way? It would look great with those dark brown leather cowboy boots.
In this unit, we also learned how to use modal verbs, can't and must, to make past deductions based on evidence.
Yes, Ashley, you look tired. You can't have slept very well.
You're right. I must have drunk too much coffee before bed.
We use can't have and the past participle to make deductions in the negative.
and must have and the past participle to make deductions in the affirmative. Here are more examples.
They look almost new. They can't have been worn more than once. Look!
You must have got up very early this morning. What time did you start?
I took a 15-minute lunch break.
Good. You must have been exhausted.
Now, Unit 5 was about the music industry. Annabelle was practising her singing for an audition. Oh, I forgot to ask, how was the audition?
Well, I didn't get into the singing group.
Oh, I'm sorry. In the programme, we learned how to give information using defining and non-defining relative clauses.
We use pronouns like that, which, whose and who. We can also use where and when.
I was in a group that played Elvis songs.
From the east coast of Canada comes the Celtic music, which originates from Ireland.
Remember, we can leave out the pronoun in defining clauses if it's the object of the verb. For example, Annabelle didn't get into the group she wanted to.
And we also heard different ways to ask for information.
Yes, we use what to ask questions when the number of possible answers is not limited.
And which when the number of possible answers is limited.
What's the name of your band?
OK, which song starts the show? OK, which is Sylvia's mic?
Remember Unit 6, Ashley? You came to the studio in your overalls.
And you came to work in your pyjamas.
The unit was about work.
Yes, true. And we heard people reporting statements and questions.
He said it was my fault that sales were down by 15%. He told me they had to improve, or I'd lose my job.
I asked you why sales figures were down.
Yes, I know. And you asked me if I could solve the problem.
When we report statements and questions, we usually change the tense of the original sentence.
The present simple changes to the past simple. For example, earlier I told Ashley that he looked tired.
The present continuous changes to the past continuous. For example, in Unit 6, I asked Annabelle why she was wearing pyjamas.
Will changes to would. Don't forget, Ashley, you said you would give me the money you owe me.
Ah, yes. I'll do it now. Here you are.
Thank you. In Unit 7, we discussed the advantages and disadvantages of the internet.
That's right. And we learned how to report commands and requests.
We asked our subscribers to write local stories, but so far no one has sent us anything.
See, Laura? I told you to give the recipe to Jade.
Remember, to report commands and requests, we use the verbs tell or ask, followed by the object and the infinitive, with to or not to.
Ashley, before the programme started, I asked you to open a window.
Sorry, Annabelle, but the cameraman told me not to move.
In this unit, we also heard different ways to express ignorance. For example, I haven't a clue how to upload photos to my new language website.
And we learned some expressions to ask for clarification. What exactly do you mean by your new language website?
Then we heard people expressing interest. For example, I'm interested in creating a website that gives advice to English language learners.
Is that so?
Let's watch some examples.
I don't have time to market the cafe on the internet. What? I mean, I don't know how to.
Let me get this clear. You're going to make a website for this whole area.
I'd be interested to know how useful the internet is in running the farm.
How is your election campaign coming along, Ashley?
Huh?
In Unit 8, you wanted to change the world as a politician, remember?
Oh, yes. And then I discovered that politics isn't for me. In the programme, we learned how to report what people have said by using different verbs.
After suggest and recommend, the next verb goes in ing form. For example, Mark recommended having more places for young people to go.
But after promise, or offer, or order, we use the infinitive form. He promised to help local people, and a promise is a promise. Let's watch some examples.
Well, I've spoken to the Transport Secretary. She suggested organising a committee to look at speed limits. In the meantime, I've ordered the local council to implement changes in your area.
We also learnt how to generalise using indefinite pronouns such as nobody, everybody, somebody and everyone.
Everyone wants to be sure their children are safe when they walk to school.
In Unit 9, we moved from politicians to celebrities.
That's right. We looked at the celebrity culture in Britain and the pros and cons of being famous.
In the programme, we heard people use some rhetorical questions to express emotions.
If you've got enough money, who cares what your dad says?
Remember, these are questions where the person doesn't expect an answer.
Ashley, it's nearly the end of the module. Can you believe it?
You know what? I'm feeling a little sad about it. Let's watch some other examples.
I said she couldn't get a tattoo. But does she listen to me?
Jessica, what do they know?
In our final unit, we looked at the TV and radio industry. You had a job interview to be a TV presenter.
And you, Annabelle, appeared on a popular radio soap opera.
We talked about the future using will, going to and the present continuous.
We use will and won't to make predictions about the future.
Thanks, Laura. But soon there won't be any women over 30 left in the media.
I think you'll get that TV presenter job, Ashley.
Thanks, Annabelle. We use to be with going to express our intentions for the future.
Are you going to remember us at That's English when you're a famous TV star?
Yes, of course. And we use the present continuous to talk about fixed plans in the near future.
I'm having a drink after the show. Do you want to come?
Absolutely. Here are some more examples from the programme.
Well, it's not only women who are going to suffer.
They're getting married in July next year.
We also heard people narrating facts and actions in the past.
And notice, we often add past time expressions.
Since regular radio broadcasts began in Britain in 1922, radio has informed the public about some of the most important events in the nation's history.
Bradford is full of grand Victorian buildings because in the 19th century it was a very rich town.
We also learned how to talk about past actions which happened before another past action.
We use the past perfect. For example, before I worked as a TV presenter, I'd studied acting.
I hadn't realised how superficial news coverage was until Miriam lost her job.
So we've come to the end of the revision programme.
And to the end of Module 8. We hope you enjoyed learning English with us.
We've certainly enjoyed teaching you, and we hope you'll continue with the next modules.
Yes, we do. So, goodbye and good luck with your English.
Yes, goodbye and good luck.